the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series fires things off in round number 2 of this championship chase rundown. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from the trackside. There's a little bit of track information for you. We all know the granddaddy of them all, Talladega Super Speedway, 2.5 or actually 2.65 mile High Bank Super Speedway. These drivers are going to be upwards of 190 miles an hour heading off into these corners here tonight. 10-minute qualifying session already underway. Will be a little bit of a extended qualifying session here tonight, as these drivers have a long time to get up to speed and get those cars running to their full potential. So we'll get to some of that information as drivers do begin to turn in their time lapse. But let's talk a little bit about that chase picture coming into tonight's race. Last week at Pocono, we saw the exit of 4 drivers from the championship chase: Hunter Tate, Brian Snare, Chris Berg, Kendall Levron. Now, without a chance for the 2021 season championship here in the NEXTGEN Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series, Christopher Spencer, first driver to put in a time lapse. So we'll go ahead and throw that qualifying information for you up there to the left-hand side of your screen. Upwards of 38 drivers here tonight for this race. And my gosh, it's going to be a crazy one. Talladega always has some crazy races, some crazy finishes. Will we see the long green flag runs? Will we see fuel strategy possibly come into play? Tire strategy. You never quite know what's going to happen at a super speedway race. Will we see the big one? Will it come early? Will it come late? I don't know. You'll have to tune in to find out. And we'll stay right here at the trackside to find out as well. Nathan Bishop going to take the top spot now. 53.735 is the Blackhawk Motorsports Pole Award time right now, to be beaten by that Chevy Camaro piloted by Nathan Bishop. He's got his 27 looking sporty here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. Damon Cox going to go inside the top 5. He'll jump to second on the speed charts. Todd Willis making an appearance on the track. He'll go 8th. More drivers turning in time laps. Joshua Spalding going to take second spot away. And Jeff Styles going to go top of the speed charts now. Justin Rigsby in the 36 machine going to take that top spot. Fast time now sits at a 53.723 set by Rigsby. $21 drivers on the speed charts. We have still got about, a good 15 to 18 drivers left to put in their time lapse, so these should be coming at you very quickly here. Not a whole lot of time left in qualifying for these drivers to put in their time lap. Looks like a few drivers just kind of sitting down there on pit road, hanging out, just having some photo opportunities, I guess. Got the drone cams out there, got some YouTubers out there in the stands getting some videos as well. So drivers doing what they can to help all the fans out there here at Talladega Super Speedway tonight. Tim Woodson, he's just kind of hanging out. Brendan Medford, Travis Smith and the 9 machine, they're all on pit road, but just kind of hanging out outside their cars. Steve Baker jumps in the 55. He's going to look to put down his time lap. Roy Hyde going to put down a spot good enough for 21st. And, you know, it wouldn't be unlikely to see these drivers not put in a qualifying time here at Talladega Super Speedway. Pretty much if you can keep yourself with a clean car and in the draft, you're going to have a shot at this one at the end of tonight's race. And now with happy hour just about halfway over, looks like that's going to be all the qualifying times allowed here tonight. So the Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award going to go to that 36 of Justin Rigsby. Rigsby with a fast time, 53.723 here in qualifying. Happy hour scene lap times sub 50 seconds, 51 seconds. Only driver to do so, I believe, was the 48 of Jimmy Hetrick. He had a sub 50-second lap, I believe, by just about 0.2 of a second, if my memory serves me correct. But with those qualifying times now being already written down and official, Justin Rigsby is going to take your Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award. And that's going to lead us right into your championship standings coming into tonight's race. They look a little something like this. 18 races in the bags. 3 championship races in the bag already. Steve Baker leads the point standings. Troy Radford, Katie Osmond, Chris Medford, and Roy Hyde right there rounding out your top 5. Brian Littleton, Travis Smith with a big jump through the points with a decent finish last week at Pocono Raceway. Dustin German, Mitchell Snare, Dustin Ping right there in that 10th spot. All the way back to Jimmy Hetrick. Those are the drivers that are left in your championship chase. Will they have a good night here tonight, or will Talladega bite a few of them at the end? Outside of your top 16, there you can see the battle for the best of the rest. Craig Learman, Thomas Light, they're very close on points. Tyler Hilton, Matthew McMeekin, John Wimbish in the 56 machine. He's made a run through the points as of late. He's sitting just outside of your top 20 in the 22nd position. And that's just a little look in on your point standings coming into tonight's race. Race number 1, round number 2 here in the championship chase for the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, then head down trackside for the national anthem. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And we come live back trackside as drivers making their way through final pre-race inspection. And it looks like everybody has made their way through the tents and to the grid. ready to run down tonight's Shake and Bake Talladega 75. It's gonna be a crazy one, I can assure you that. And you hear the bells in the background, you know that sound. It's time to run down tonight's official starting lineup for the Talladega 75 right here in Next Gen Racing Lighting Electric Company Xfinity Series. Justin Rigsby gonna shake up this field. He'll take the Blackhawk Motorsports Pole Award in qualifying with a 53.723. Rigsby starts inside row number 1, back just to his outside the 85 of Jeff Stiles. Row number 2 tonight, the 27 of Nathan Bishop, followed by the 5 of Joshua Spalding. Brian Littleton, Gary Ragland in row number 3. Row 4 here tonight, Kendall Lebron and Gordon Larson Jr. Damon Cox, Eric Blount rounding out your top 10. Jimmy Hetrick, Dustin German back in row number 6. Row 7 here tonight belongs to Robert Liedel and Tyler Hilton. 98 of Thomas Light in the 15th starting spot. Jimmy Hetrick just to his outside. Todd Willis, Brian Snare back in row 9. Rounding out your top 20, the 2 of Christopher Spencer and the 86 of Travis Arthur. Roy Hyde and Derek Robinson back in row number 11. Row 12 here tonight, the 88 of Katie Osmond. In the 9 of Travis Smith, Steve Baker, Troy Radford. Back there in row 13, right behind them, Dustin Ping and Brian Miskell Jr. Matthew McMeekin and Mitchell Snare round out your top 30, the 84 of Christopher Medford. Inside row number, 16, 18, something like that. I've lost count. A lot of drivers here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. And that's going to be it. Your starting lineup right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network as these drivers get ready to go green flag racing for the first time. iRacing pace car down and away. The field's got a ways to go to get to that box. Restart box a little bit further around the track than most tracks. Start finish line way over there, about 3/4 of the way through this front stretch. Rigsby with control, waiting for the boss man to drop the hammer. And green flag flies for the first time here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. Round number 2 in this round number 2 in the 2021 championship chase now underway. Talladega Super Speedway going to kick things off here for round number 2. Rockingham and Charlotte Motor Speedway will finish off round number 2. Justin Rigsby going to keep that top spot for the time being. He'll have Nathan Bishop, Brian Littleton tucked in behind him. Right there going down the backstretch, inside lane moving right now. Outside lane dropping back 3, almost 4 cars on this start. Nobody really jumping out, going 3 wide just yet. Looks like the field pretty content with running right where they are. Nobody really making any big moves as of yet, but we are just coming to the completion of lap number 1, and now that outside lane starting to build the energy, starting to get that momentum. Jeff Stiles starting to bring that outside lane back, but it's not been able to get there just yet. Justin Rigsby, your Blackhawk Motorsports Pole Award winner, will continue to lead tonight's race. We're going to try to keep up with some of these lead changes here tonight. We're going to keep it official at the start-finish line just to make it easier on ourselves. Otherwise, we may have 3 or 4 different lead changes per lap. My brain's just not able to compute all of that information at one time. Fields still stacked up with each other. No real gaps as of yet. You're starting to see a little bit of a gap develop back there outside of, I believe that is your top 20. And when I say a little bit of a gap, I mean just about a second gap from, it looks like, Tyler Hilton. Back to Troy Radford, a little bit of space between them. There you can see Roy Hyde and Radford on the outside lane. Second little pack back there as Rigsby continues to hug that double yellow line. Keep in mind, You cannot make a pass below that yellow line, so it is your best friend. Forget about your teammates. That double yellow line here at Talladega Superspeedway means absolutely everything to you. You got to protect it. You got to keep yourself down there. And, well, it is the shortest distance around the speedway. Yeah, you can get wound up at the top, but it's very hard without a big push, a big surge to snatch that top spot away. Rigsby going to lead lap number 3 as we now begin lap number 4 out of the 75 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. And I'll tell you what, those of you out there watching in TV land, do me a little bit of favor if you can over here in the chat. How's all the audio sounds doing? Changed a few things with the car sounds. Let me know how that sounds out there if you think it's a little too low. If we think we need to play with that just a little bit, give me a shout over there in the chat on the YouTube side of things. Much appreciated. Thank you for everything each and every one of you do as well. Still side by side up here around third position. There's Brian Littleton, third car back inside lane, and a long train of cars down there on that inside lane. The 48 of Jimmy Hetrick, fastest in happy hour. Running right where he started tonight's race in that 11th position right now. So Hetrick not really going anywhere, but still running strong. Let's check in with a lot of your chase contenders there. You can see on the timing and scoring inside of your top 10, only 2 Turn 3 orange highlighted drivers, as one of them is going to drop out now. Just Brian Littleton listed inside the top 10. Kendall Levron, you'll see that Turn 3 blue over there. Levron, one of those drivers, eliminated from championship contention at the end of round number 1 here in the 2021 season championship run last week at Pocono. Levron had a wicked fast car. Unfortunately, he had some on-track skirmishes is what we'll label them. And unfortunately not ending well for him and ending his championship run. And here we can see drivers mixing it up a little. 2-3 wide contact. Contact a little bit further in the field. We'll take a look back here. This is where it all was going down. 38 of Derek Robinson may have got into the side of somebody just a little bit there. Driver stacked up for a moment. Rigsby going up just in front to try to block the run. And what about the 5? Joshua Spalding with trouble. He is going to fall one lap down, and as he's running the apron, oh no, that is not something you want to see in a speedway race going down a lap this early. But he does have the benefit of, you know, anything can happen here, but the longer he gets pinned down there running on that apron, the worse he is going to be off. He's going to be able to slowly slide his way up now as that outside lane really beginning to get broke up. We'll jump around the track just a little bit, try to watch some of these battles going on. There's the 6 of Eric Blount just in front of Jimmy Hetrick, and the 30 of Robert Hetrick running with each other. 57 of Damon Cox, the Iron Man, tucked in right behind Kendall Levron and Brian Littleton right there in that Michelob Ultra number 80 machine. Littleton still running in the 5th position right where he started tonight's race. Going to take a look around. Let's see who we've got in that Mission 22 hard charger spot right now. Craig Learman in the 69 Chevy. He is up 20 positions. He's all the way up to the 11th. 22 positions all the way up to 22nd now. There you can see that 69 Hellman-sponsored machine cutting his way up through the field, and he's going to be to the back end of the 38 of Derek Robinson here very shortly. Justin Rigsby continues to be the only leader of the race so far here tonight as we stay green flag racing halfway down the backstretch. Lap number 8 out of the 75 scheduled in the official race distance. Now going to the high side, Eric Blount with a huge push by that 30 of Robert Hetrick. Will go 3 wide off of turn 4 for the lead. 3 wide, turn 4 for the race lead. The 85 of Jeffrey Stiles stuck in the middle. He's going to look to try to drop down and lead a lap. Not going to happen. Who's going to get it? Eric Blount's going to take the lap led. That's going to give us our second different leader of tonight with 1 lead change so far. Still 3 wide, 2 rows deep at the front of this field. Nathan Bishop, second car inside lane. There's Craig Learman, second car, middle lane to his outside the 30 of Robert Hetrick. And as these drivers mix it up at the front, looks like drivers getting a little bit nervous. Brian Littleton dropping back in the field just a little bit. He's going to drop just outside of your top 10 as drivers begin to separate themselves from these guys, looking a little bit racy, a little early here for some. 3 wide, still 2, almost 3 rows deep at the front of this field. How about the show here tonight for the fans in the stands, as well as all of you joining us around the world, around the country, around the world, around the globe. Who knows where you're at? Watching on your cell phones, tablets, laptops, computers. We do appreciate each and every one of you checking in here tonight. And as we calm down just a little bit from that 3 wide, 3 rows deep scenario, we had just a handful of laps ago, 2 laps straight. We had that 3 wide racing. It looks like drivers going to settle themselves back down to running 2 wide. Eric Blount's going to drop from that top spot all the way back to the 7th position. So Rigsby will reassume the race lead down there on that inside lane. The 27 of Nathan Bishop with a great push so far here tonight. He's going to sit second car inside lane, as now the inside lane really moving by. The driver struggling to keep that energy, that pace out there on the outside lane, being led by the 85 of Jeffrey Stiles. $11 laps in the book, and we have been green flag racing for all 11 laps. Just goes to show you that these Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series drivers, the talent and the level of awareness that they have. Very close side draft there by Stiles, trying to slow down that run on the inside lane. It's going to work for a moment. Stiles going to have to utilize that a little bit more. Rigsby going to lead this lap back at the line once again. Lap number 12 now on the board, but these drivers, known for their short track, known for their 1.5 mile abilities. We do not visit very many super speedway races throughout the season, but right here, a chance for drivers to showcase what they got right here at Talladega Super Speedway in race number 19 out of the 26 race season here in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series, and more drivers starting to make their way towards the front. Lehrman up 28 positions, Derek Robinson up 16 positions, Matthew McMeekin now inside the top 10. He's going to move up 20 spots from where he started tonight's race. And how about this, Mike Masongill back there in the 4th position, 14th in the 4 car, I apologize. In the 17th position, he's up 19 spots from where he started tonight's race. So that just lets you know some of these drivers, they want to get to the front. That's where they believe the safe spot is, where the safe place is. It's easy to miss the wreck when it's behind you. Some drivers using the strategy of it's easier to miss the wreck when it's in front of you and way in front of you. And how about a tale of the race right now? Nobody inside of your top 10 sitting as a championship chase contender. That all belongs to drivers on the outside looking in. Nobody inside the top 13 even made it into the chase. Just to let you know how the racing can be flip-flopped right here at Talladega Super Speedway. Now Jimmy Hetrick, Troy Radford, there you can see that 48.94 lined up nose to tail outside lane, making their way off of turn number 2, heading down the backstretch. Those are your 2 highest running championship chase drivers. Gotta go all the way back to 18th. There you can see them in that Caravan 946 design sponsored Chevy Camaro, tucked in right behind Radford. Brian Maskell Jr. right behind him. There's Roy Hyde running right behind him. And there you can see some of these Dirty Air Racing teammates beginning to come together, beginning to work together. And you've got some Hammer Down Motorsports drivers working with each other. You've got some of the hardline racing drivers working with each other. Falcon Motorsports also mixing it up amongst their teammates right now as well. So a much of a team race as we run right now. Everybody seems to be pretty content with their running spots here. We'll jump around just a little bit as now that outside lane has gained some momentum and is going to battle for that top spot. We'll keep a look back here at, I believe that was Robert Hetrick with a little bit of a wiggle in that purple and orange Clemson-sponsored Chevy Camaro just out in front of the 01 Exalta of Gordon Larson Jr. Larson Jr. trying to make it back inside the top 10. He started all the way up in the 8th position, has fallen back 3 spots so far here as we cross the line to begin lap number 16. And from what we heard from some of these crew chiefs out there in happy hour, about 30 laps is what these drivers have on fuel. So it looks like we are about halfway through a green flag run, and will we see green flag pit stops? And what's that going to bring us to? Pit road police 2 weeks ago out in full force. We had a handful of drivers getting some pit road penalties there at Kentucky. Had one driver with some pit road trouble last week at Pocono. But for the most part, pit road police not able to do their job very much here throughout this season. But will tonight be the night that some of these drivers push the chances, push the envelope to try to get into and out of pit road as quickly as possible? We'll have to wait to see how all of that shakes out. Your top 20 drivers are within 1 second of the race leader. Driver sitting in the 22nd spot, Brian Littleton, he is only 1.7 seconds behind your race leaders. There you can see, I believe that is Todd Willis dropping to the back. No, that's Nathan Bishop in the 27 machine. He was running just behind Justin Rigsby, as Rigsby has given up that top spot. That's going to be our third lead change amongst the same amount of drivers here tonight. And with the 27 of Nathan Bishop dropping out of line, he is hurt. He may have blown his engine. Do we got an eye on him? I think we do got an eye. You know, he's a little further back, guys. There he is right there. Nathan Bishop way off pace here. He may have some troubles inside that 27 car, and that is tough to watch. Trying to listen to the car here. Not sure what has happened, but the 27 way off pace and losing a ton of time. We'll jump back up to the front as we've got 2 and 3 wide racing once again. Craig Lehrman going to take the top spot away now with a push from Justin Rigsby. 4th different lead change, 4th different leader here tonight, and we stay green flag racing 3 wide for a moment. Radford goes through the middle. 30 of Robert Hetrick up on the outside lane, struggling a little bit right here to keep the pace. We'll have to move a little bit further up through the field. Check this out. 98 of Thomas Light knocking on the door of the top 5. There you can see Light sitting just behind the 11 of Gary Ragland. Ragland running well here tonight as well. 3rd car inside lane, holding down a podium position as we come across the line. This time by will take lap number 20. A win in your in situation for these championship chase drivers, but none of them sitting inside the top 5. Troy Radford, Travis Smith, your highest 2 running championship contenders. They're sitting 10th and 12th on the speedway. Whoa, big moment there for the 85 of Styles, trying to keep himself right there in line, tucked in between Gary Ragland. And I believe that is the 40. Oh, yes, that is the 41 of Matthew McMeekin. So very close here. Who in the 11 with some trouble. He's going to have to go to the high side. He'll join the run on the high side. I believe it's about 4 cars lined up right there. 4 or 5 cars actually lined up nose to tail, as now Eric Blount, he's going to bail from the top side, hit the bottom of the speedway. And it looks like we may see some of these drivers begin to jockey for positions, ready for these green flag pit stops. And as I say that, the 14 of Todd Willis with a big cut to the outside lane. He'll jump in front of Gary Ragland, who still has a Troy Radford back there behind him in line. 38 of Derek Robinson also running that high line, but with green flag pit stops right around the corner. Look for that outside lane to kind of just disappear and go away. And as I'm saying it, that's what's happening. 3 cars out there trying to make it work, but they are losing some ground. Damon Cox passing Brian Snare for 25th on this lap. Mike Mason-Gill getting by Travis Smith. Derek Robinson trying to get by Travis Arthur for the 8th position. Matthew McMeekin now getting past for the 6th spot. Todd Willis trying to gain some momentum on that outside lane and get that Full Throttle Motorsports 14 machine up inside the top 3, knocking on the door of it right now. Just can't quite get there. A little bit further off in the background there, you can see that 9 of Travis Smith. He's trying to run back down Troy Radford, who's holding on to the tail end of this 3-car mount. Now he'll join this fight. All that outside lane, as these numbers begin to grow, will that outside lane suddenly surge forward? And can they do it in enough time? Travis Smith now latches on. He's going to try to go by the 82 of Tyler Hilton. There you can see Hilton on that inside lane. And you don't think these drivers are busy. You don't think they're doing a lot inside of these cars. I tell you what, let's go to one of our onboard camera shots. Let's drop inside the office of the 85 of Jeffrey Styles. Styles sitting right here, running in the 5th position. Look how close to that 98 of Thomas Light. That Styles is running a little peek to the outside, trying to get some air to the radiator, keep the car cool. Let's listen to the throttle work here. And you could hear it. Not very much of lift, as there you can see that 14. He's got a big push now. He's going to gain 1, if not 2 spots. He'll battle for the top spot. He'll try to take away the race lead from Craig Learman. Whoa, big moment there out of the 86 of Travis Arthur. Almost down into the side of the 85, and that could have spelled trouble for your front runners, as well as some of your chase drivers. Troy Radford, Travis Smith, right there inside the top 15. Chris Medford, Jimmy Hetrick just outside of your top 20, and a lot of your championship drivers listed outside of your top 20. Most of them look like they are playing it safe. But how long can you really do that? How long here at Talladega can you kind of just lay back in the back, as we're just about, 10 laps? 13 laps away from the halfway point here, about 7 laps away from a green flag pit stop. You can hang out, but only for so long. And I say drivers are just hanging out, but all the way from 1st to 35th, all within 3 seconds of each other. It's green flag pit stops underway. A lot of drivers going to break for pit road this time by Derek Robinson, Eric Blount, Gordon Larson Jr., Robert, and Jimmy Hetrick. Both drop down to come to pit road. Nathan Bishop still out there running, but he is quite a ways behind. Bishop needs one of those caution flags if he's going to have any chance here tonight. Now, how about the 5 of Joshua Spalding, championship contender? This is not the way you want to start the second round. running all the way back in the 37th position, listed 1 lap down. Oh, and big time crash. Gary Ragland goes up in the air. The 85 of Jeffrey Stiles involved. The 2 is involved. The 1 catches a piece. Looks like the 88 of Katie Osmond involved, as well as Dustin German. Oh no, big time moment here. Right when green flag pit stops begun to take place. Oh my gosh. Let's go back, see if we can't see what happened here. Oh, and a big push off of the 41. Got the 85 loose up into the 11. He goes for a ride. Brian Littleton catching a piece. The 2 of Christopher Spencer catches a piece. The 43 absolutely destroyed. 45 involved. No front clip on his machine either. Oh my gosh. Kendall Levron caught up. Mitchell Snare looks like he was caught up. Let's take a look back here. Oh my gosh, and just drivers kind of along for the ride, nowhere to go. My goodness. That's going to be the big one here at Talladega Superspeedway a little bit early in the evening. Will we see a second one? We'll have to wait to find out, obviously, but we'll jump back live at the front of the field. Race leader Craig Learman going to bring everybody down pit road. Question is, will Derek Robinson, Gordon Larson Jr., Jimmy Hetrick, Robert Hetrick, Eric Blount, will they bring their machines down to pit road as we watch Craig Learman get into his box? Right sides go up and down, back to the left side. His pit stop will finish on out, and we'll step away from the track for just a brief moment. We'll be right back with all your green flag action right here from Talladega Superspeedway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We got big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage. Your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane. Press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
Back trackside as the field crosses the line. Pace car lights go out. The big one for the first one here at Talladega Superspeedway. 4 drivers definitely with some massive damage that we know of. 5 or 6 others involved to give us a crash count of about 10 drivers total caught up in this first one. A few of them being championship contenders. And that could spell trouble for some of their championship hopes continuing throughout this championship chase here in the 2021 season for the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Derek Robinson led the charge down pit road for his green flag pit stop, and he'll stay out on the track, and he'll become our 5th different race leader of the night. Pole sitter Justin Rigsby will line up just to his outside. Craig Learman, Gordon Larson Jr. back in row 2. Row 3, Todd Willis and Jimmy Hetrick. Thomas Light and Robert Hetrick back in row number 4 for the restart. Rounding out the top 10, the 41 of Matthew McMeekin and the 6 of Eric Blount will start 5th car outside lane for this latest restart as we begin to make our way through 3 and 4. We'll start this race back up on lap number 30 out of the 75 scheduled in the official race distance. We still have enough laps. We still have enough time to see a green flag pit stop unfold, completely played out in the hands of the driver at the front of this field. A Supra leads the race here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. How about that? A Toyota to the front of the field for the first time, and he's got a Toyota Mustang, it looks like. I'm not sure what that emblem's all about. He's got a hybrid. That's the new hybrid. Getting away from the field, kind of catching these drivers by surprise. Outside lane did not get going at all, but Gordon Larson Jr., Jimmy Hetrick, they were right there on it, as well was Robert Hetrick. All 4 of those cars lined up with each other. Great run right there. And most of those drivers are Hardline Racing members, so I believe the team strategy and the team radio came into play on that latest restart, but now the rest of the pack beginning to close back in. Craig Learman works his way to the back end of Justin Rigsby. Right there, you see them two tag teamed up with each other. Big gap now as drivers really strung out through this field. We'll jump back just outside of your top 10. There you can see a championship chase contender, Troy Radford, trying to make his way up through the field just a little bit further. There you can see the 4 Mike Mason-Gill lined up right in between Radford and Kendall Levron. Mason-Gill runs in the 14th position, up 22 spots from where he started tonight's race. And how about the big push on the outside? The 69 of Learman has gotten Rigsby there, and Rigsby gonna take the spot away. Will he drop down? No, he's going to stay on the high side. And wouldn't you know, right after I say that is right when Rigsby drops to the bottom, we'll have our 6th different lead change of the night amongst 5 different drivers so far. Here is now Craig Learman going to take control of that outside lane. Whoa, big moment there for Derek Robinson. Almost got put into a 3 wide situation. That, whoa, big jerk out of that 41 of Matthew McMeekin on the outside lane. Big wiggle to the outside. The snap on 41 Ford with a little bit of handling trouble that time. Getting into turn number 1. Field now begins to get stacked up all the way through about 20th position on the track. And you're really starting to see those separate packs develop now. Big time separation through a lot of this field. Nathan Bishop all the way back here in that 27 machine. You've seen him drop to the tail end of the field there during that first green flag run. Now he's running back inside the top 20, but 3 very distinct packs in this field right here. Travis Arthur leads the inside lane, has Brian Mescal Jr. tucked in just behind him. Katie Osmond, a little bit of smoke. Oh, no. We've got a driver off of the track. Gordon Larson Jr. goes to the bottom of the raceway. What happened there? No caution flag, so we stay green flag racing. Let's see what happened here with the 01. We'll take a flashback. Oh, the 41 of Matthew McMeekin was out of shape. Oh, my gosh. How did Gordon Larson Jr. not hit anybody? Wow. That is all I can say. Wow. That is unbelievable. Looks like that Snap-on 41 Mustang of Matthew McMeekin was a little bit out of shape. Came back on the track. Gordon Larson Jr. with a moment. He comes all the way down from the top to the bottom. Able to keep the car headed in the right direction. No contact with anybody. We stay green flag racing here on lap number 34 out of the 75. Scheduled in tonight's official race distance. And as we have crossed that halfway, or we're fixing to cross it, we fitting across that halfway section. If you haven't already, join us in that push to 2,000 subscribers. And as always, drop these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side to get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. So once again, with that being said, if you haven't already, drop these drivers a thumbs up. Troy Radford looking to lead a lap for the first time. Will he be able to get back to the stripe and keep it at the front of this field? Big push by that 82 of Tyler Hilton on the tail end of Radford. Will Radford drop the Lucky Finn Project Mustang down to the bottom of the speedway? No, he's going to have Craig Learman back to his inside. Radford not able to lead a lap officially just yet. And at the line, Radford's going to snatch it away. That's going to be our 8th different lead change amongst 6 different drivers here tonight. Things get a little bit racy at the front of this field. There you can see the 85 of Jeff Stiles had a great run in qualifying, was running very well, and then carnage, chaos struck on the track here at Talladega Superspeedway, and now that 85 finds himself down on power and all the way back in the 36th position, down at least one lap here tonight. We've had 2 retirements tonight. Ryan Wilson, Gary Ragland, both going to exit tonight's race. They'll finish back in 37th and 38th here tonight. We have still got a huge field here, 36 drivers to be exact. Oh, a little bit of a stack up on that outside lane. Man, I'm telling you, things are starting to get heated up. Troy Radford getting by Craig Learman for that top spot. Tim Woodson making a pass on Hetrick for the 10th position. 8th spot being changed between Derek Robinson and Thomas Light. Positions all over this track going back and forth. As there you can see another Wounded Machine, Brian Snare. He's going to head to pit road. Mitchell Snare also into pit road this time by with his front clip missing off of the 43 machine. Tough break for him here tonight. Radford still pulling the train on the high side here at Talladega Superspeedway. Matthew McMeekin a little bit out of shape in 1 and 2. He'll wash way up the track right in front of that 14 of Todd Willis. You're going to have to be careful of doing it. Whoa! And drivers going around the 82 of Hilton goes around 14 in the wall. It's the big one again here at Talladega Superspeedway. Oh boy, oh no. Big smoke. A lot of drivers caught up in this one. Oh no. Second caution of the night has caught quite a few more drivers out. Thomas Light involved. Let's go back, take a look, see what happened here with Tyler Hilton. Oh my gosh. Big body slam. Drivers caught up. Oh my gosh. Up the track, down the track. Oh my gosh. Lance Yancey gets caught up and involved. How did Roy Hyde? Roy Hyde came through there. clean as a whistle. I tell you what, let's go back, take a look from the cockpit of Roy Hyde, if we can get that camera. Yeah, they're giving us the thumbs up on that. Let's see how it took place. You can see the smoke, a lot of cars going everywhere. Really way down on the brakes. You can see a lot of drivers caught up down there on the inside lane. Big time trouble for a lot of drivers here tonight. We'll jump back live on the raceway back at the front of this field. Craig Learman took that top spot back away right before that caution came out. So that's going to give us our 9th different lead change of the night. And as the drivers come to a crawl behind the iRacing pace car, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Thank some of the sponsors. And we'll be right back with all your green flag action right here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
And back trackside as promised. Eric Blount gonna stay out on the track. He'll take advantage of the caution flag. He'll take the top spot for the restart. Field gonna double up off of turn number 2. Second caution of the evening brought us back to a crawl. Now can that fast Ford Hardline Racing member Eric Blount keep the 6 out at the front of this field? He'll have Derek Robinson just to his outside. Gordon Larson Jr. gonna line up just behind him. Jimmy Hetrick, Troy Radford rounds out your top 5. for our latest restart. Our second big crash here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway saw 9 drivers involved in the second one, 7 drivers involved in our first one. Was the official car count on the carnage that brought us under caution for the first time. So 16 drivers caught up and involved at one point here tonight. 38 drivers took to the track. We have still got 34 out there running here tonight. Got a few of them still down there on pit road, banging away on their machines, trying to get back out there. Joshua Spalding looks like to be one of your only chase contenders that are really in trouble, as he is down off of the lead lap, back in the 34th position. Pace car down and away. Blount gonna bring the field back to the green flag here at Talladega Superspeedway, and it looks like on the gas and up through the gears goes Blount. Green flag flies for the third time here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. That's going to catch most of the field at the front out once again. Jimmy Hetrick will take over that second position as Derek Robinson going to fall back to third. The 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. now in fourth. Craig Learman, Troy Radford back in sixth. A little bit of a gap back to the rest of the field, as it looks like most of the drivers all the way through your top 20 all electing to go single file here. You know, we haven't brought you very many of our special cameras here tonight. Why don't we go just outside the track? Let's run the fan cam as we work our way off of turn number excuse me, sorry. Turn number 4 and back across the stripe here. There you can see that 6 machine still leads the race as they head back to turn number 1. Radford on the outside trying to gain some spots, trying to pick up some positions, and he's going to have a big push. A lot of help right now by Justin Rigsby. That 36 has been dialed up all night here in Alabama, getting the job done, and he's going to push Radford to the front. Radford challenging for the race lead. Radford now clear. Will he drop down? No, he won't. He'll stay to the high side, heading back into turn number 3 as we head high above the racing action with one of our turn 3 drone cams here tonight. 3 of them all in total. We'll try to bring in some of those aerial shots when we have an opportunity. Still battling for that top spot, though. Radford looking to come back on the outside lane, gain the momentum, and it looks like Radford right there at the line gonna give it. That's gonna be 10 different lead changes here tonight. 6 different drivers leading the Talladega 75 chase race number 4. It's the round 2 opening race here in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series Championship chase for the 2021 crown. Who's going to get the job done? We've got 2 chase contenders inside the top 5 now. Jimmy Hetrick, Troy Radford. They run second and fourth on the track right now. Chris Medford sitting outside of your top 10. He's your next chase driver in line. Katie Osmond, Steve Baker, Dustin Ping, Roy Hyde, Brian Littleton, all nose to tail on the speedway, 4th through 19th, all championship chase contenders. With just 31 laps remaining here tonight, drivers going to be gonna have to start kicking it up a notch. The time to lay back and play it safe is out the window. You have got to put yourself in a position to try to be there at the end. And look at the big push that Hetrick is giving the 6 all the way down the backstretch and into turn number 3. I'll tell you what, let's jump a little closer to the action. We're gonna mute the mic and we're gonna head trackside for a little turn it up. And how's that for up close and personal to some great racing action as we see the field go to the inside and around the wounded number 2 of Christopher Spencer. His Toyota Super caught up and involved with our second incident here tonight, and now the two just struggling to get as many points out of tonight's race as he can. Big time shout out to everybody back at the headquarters. Great camera work. Big time shout out to all the drivers and crew members allowing us to put these great camera shots on board and inside the cars to bring you as close to the racing action as possible here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So big time shout out to everybody and all the teams out there. It looks like Tim Woodson may have had some trouble. He heads to pit road. Woodson off pace and off track on to pit road. Justin Rigsby going to take the top spot back once again here tonight. 11th. Different lead change of the night. Troy Radford still right there with him. Eric Blount, Craig Lehrman, Jimmy Hetrick. Only driver inside of your top 5 not to lead a lap so far here tonight. Hetrick now going to drop back to that 6th position as Robert Liedel got by. And Liedel now going to take over 4th as Craig Lehrman passes Radford for 2nd. I'm trying to jump around and keep ourselves with all of the racing action as we can. And as we reach lap number 50 this time around, we'll have just 26 laps remaining here tonight in the Talladega 75. And that's going to bring us to our driver highlights and spotlights. It's going to be a little bit rough to get them all done right in order. Drivers mixing it up left and right, passing that lead back and forth. So we're going to do it a little special here tonight. What do you say? We're going to run with them how they are anyway. Justin Rigsby leads that inside lane. There you can see the driver inside of that 36 Chevy Camaro now going to take the 2nd spot as Troy Radford going to drop down and take the lead of this race. The driver out of Duncansville, Pennsylvania, looks to head back to victory lane. Radford has visited. Oh, and big moment back through the field. Oh, my gosh. Drivers were coming to pit road. You're going to see Jimmy Hetrick back in the 48 machine. Driver out of Kannapolis, North Carolina, follows the 6 of Eric Blount down to pit road, and that could have spelled a lot of trouble for some of these drivers. Whew. Man, that was close. That's going to interrupt our highlights and spotlights for a second. Rigsby going to take control of the race once again. Craig Lehrman now running in 2nd, and there you can see the wounded 43 stays to the high side. He'll lose yet another lap here tonight as these lead lap cars motor right on by. Down there on the inside lane, Justin Rigsby leads Craig Lehrman. Robert Liedel now running in 3rd. Troy Radford back and forth with Brandon Medford running in 5th. Your Blackhawk Motorsports Pole Award winner continues to pad his back pocket with some laps led here tonight. Rigsby led a handful of laps at the beginning of tonight's race, kind of fell to the wayside there towards this middle portion, but has since reasserted himself back at the front of this field. As we do see drivers beginning their last green flag pit stop. Most of the drivers were on to pit road back at lap number 39. So that's going to be able to get them to about, I would say, right around 17 laps to go. So look for a lot of these drivers to be making their final pit stop somewhere in the next 5 to 10 laps. Eric Blount and his crew were last on to pit road back on lap number 25. They pulled back down to pit road right on lap number 50, and that's going to give them a 25-lap run to the end. "24 drivers still left on the lead lap here tonight. A few of them at the tail end of the lead lap have already made their second and final stop of the race. Will we see another big one coming to the end, or will the last green flag pit stop really shake up and stretch out this field? We'll have to wait to see how all of these drivers navigate this position. We'll get back to those highlights and spotlights now. Justin Rigsby, continues to lead the race. The Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award winner leads everybody. The 36 has that top spot. Craig Learman not only sitting in second, but the Brantford, Connecticut driver is coined with that Mission 22 Hard Charger Award right now, up 30 positions from where he started tonight's race. That's right, all the way back in 32nd. Out of the 38 cars that showed up here tonight, Craig Learman has not only led a lap, but he sits in second with just 22 laps remaining. Driver running back in the third spot, Robert Liedel out of Monroe, Michigan. The Gift for Life Churchill Transportation, Dr. Noise Paints and Custom Die Casts sponsored machine runs. In the third spot, can the 13 keep it there? He's got a hungry Troy Radford right behind him. Radford has led a handful of laps, sitting in fourth. As we cross the line to take 21 to go, rounding out your top 5 inside of the 83 machine. Driver from Knightstown, Indiana, looking to have a fine run here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. Medford runs in fifth. Brandon Medford also right on the cusp of taking that Mission 22 Hard Charger Award away from Learman. Medford up 29 spots from where he started tonight's race, all the way back in 34th. So very, very close to taking that award, that point away from Learman. Starting to see a bigger separation now. We've got a few of these drivers inside of your top 10 are running in this group that are off of the lead lap. But your top 10 have stepped away to about a 4-second breakaway. There you can see it. Big time gap back to Katie Osmond running in the 11th position. 4 seconds to be exact. Back to Katie Osmond, Roy Hyde, Brian Littleton, Kendall Levron, Dustin German, Chris Medford, and Dustin Ping. All of those championship chase drivers all kind of grouped with each other from 11th all the way back through 17th. And could that be a strategy to have there? We'll have to wait to see if that works out. Jimmy Hetrick, first driver with the fresh tires. He sits outside of your top 20 in the 21st position, as now Troy Radford jumps to the outside. He's going to look for the race lead once again. He'll make a pass on Learman. Now going to battle for the top spot with Rigsby on the bottom. And I'm telling you, if you haven't been watching, or if these spotters haven't really clued in on this, when Radford gets to the front of the line, man, that thing sails to the front. Radford going to take control of the race once again. That's going to give us another lead change here tonight. 13 lead changes at the start-finish line here tonight in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series Chase Race number 4. In the 2021 championship run down there, you can see just off in the distance, Katie Osmond, Roy Hyde, Brian Littleton, Kendall Levron. They're trying to make up some time, and they absolutely are pounding the pavement right now. Osmond shaving over a second off of that gap. You can see that second pack a little bit more organized just about 2 laps ago. Katie and his crew, they were over 4 seconds back. Now they are just over 3 seconds back from that lead pack. So indeed, they are closing in. The distance definitely shrinking between this front pack and that second pack. But green flag pit stops still going to be needed. Still going to be on the minds of a lot of these drivers. Can Radford bring it down to pit road without any trouble and back out on the racetrack to reassume the race leader? Will the strategy out of Jimmy Hetrick, Eric Blount prevail here, as they've gotten up and around Travis Smith, the 9 machine, struggling here tonight after some contact under that first caution. Smith trying to gain all he can, get what he can get out of tonight's race. 3 wide with some back markers. My gosh. Things get a little bit squirrely at the front of this field here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. Gonna jump around just a little bit if we can. try to find some racing action for you. Looks like this front pack beginning to settle themselves on out. Katie Osmond and his crew of drivers, Roy Hyde, Brian Littleton, Kendall Levron, Dustin German, Chris Medford. Along with Dustin Ping in the one machine, they have closed the gap now under 3 seconds, just about 2.5 seconds back. And there you can see that second pack much more organized, much more in line. They'll blow the doors off of Thomas Light and the 77 of Lance Yancey. Those wounded machines are no match for the drivers wound up on the inside lane, looking to hunt the front, looking to gain some momentum and get back to this lead pack and give us what could be a 17-car battle to the end of tonight's race. There you can see Christopher Spencer down on the lap count, down on the horsepower. Spencer keeps it to the high side as he drops another lap here tonight. And they are coming. Gap now down to just about 1.5 seconds back from Damon Cox's Katie Osmond. So indeed, that gap is shrinking. There you can see that 57 machine of Damon Cox. He's holding on to the draft here of Steve Baker, who's running in that 9th position, but Damon Cox, a little bit of damage on that rear deck lid. There you can see it. The spoiler crinkled up just a little bit as well on that right rear of the Autism Awareness number 57 Chevy Camaro out of Dirty Air Racing. And that's allowing Katie Osmond and his string of drivers to get there. And how about this? They have done it, race fans. It took them about 10 laps to do it. But Katie Osmond has arrived. 17 cars now in your lead pack on the lead lap, all within about 1.5 seconds of each other. Dustin Ping 1.8 seconds back from the race leader. The 94 of Troy Radford will jump back up front here and watch Radford for a moment as we've got drivers going 2 and 3 wide with another back marker. There you can see the 38 of Derek Robinson trying to get something going on that outside lane, but just nothing really hitting out there with just 2 cars. The 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. off of the lead lap, but he is trying all he can to try to help that 38 machine as we've got drivers jockeying for position, dropping to the bottom of the raceway. Green flag pit stops looming in the air. And there you can see championship contender Travis Smith with trouble here tonight. He'll fall off of the lead lap, and he will become the lucky dog for the moment. Jimmy Hetrick, Eric Blount next on the list. Derek Robinson gonna fall off of the lead lap as well. The 38 with some trouble. Robinson has already been to pit road for his final stop, though, so he will be able to get himself back onto the lead lap. Justin Brixby, Craig Learman with a big run. They'll get by. Radford going down the backstretch. That's going to give us yet our 14th different lead change here tonight. Drivers not scared to push it to the front. Man, oh man, I'm telling you, this is about to get interesting. I'm not sure these drivers can make it to the end. Some of these drivers came down to pit road to top it off on lap number 40, and judging by our calculations, we were told you could only get about 30 to 32 laps of laps on the fuel cell. And with a stop at lap number 40, that's going to put you about 3 laps shy of making it to the end, as the front of this field with some big wiggles, cars all sorts of out of shape right now. Brandon Medford gonna stick it 3 wide. Oh man, Steve Baker, he's come on strong at the tail end of tonight's race. Last week's race winner at Pocono. 2 wins in the first round. Kenny started off round number 2 with a race win as well. Oh my gosh, what a championship run that will be. Brian Littleton, Roy Hyde, Kendall Levron, all down to pit road this time by. Could that be the winning strategy? 2 and 3 wide at the front of this field. Justin Rigsby leads Craig Learman, Brendan Medford, Robert Liedel right there in fourth. Steve Baker, Troy Radford rounding out your top 5. Nobody going with that 83 on the high side just yet. He's left all alone, and now here comes, I believe that is the 5 machine. Yes, it is. The 5 going to jump out to the high side, trying to help the cause with that 83. Joshua Spalding listed off of the lead lap, down multiple laps, actually down 4 laps here tonight, but he's going to jump to the high side, trying to help his teammate. And still 3 wide racing, but the inside lane is the place to be. Rigsby, Learman, and Liedel have your podium positions with just 10 laps to go. Man, I'm telling you, this is gonna get crazy. 10 laps to go. Green flag pit stops looming in the air. What more could you ask for? We've got drivers that have already been to pit road trying to get themselves back on the lead lap there. You can see that 38 of Derek Robinson fighting hard to get himself back onto the lead lap, sitting right now just on the lead lap. He's gonna switch that back and forth multiple times with your race leader, Justin Rigsby. Can the Blackhawk Motorsports Pole Award winner bring this long train of lead lap cars down to pit road and lead them back to the front of the field by the time we end this thing here tonight? And there you can see a driver getting back up to speed off of pit road. Nathan Bishop, how about the run for that 27? He was up here at the front of the field early in tonight's race, fell all the way back and off of the lead lap right there at the first caution flag. Was able to get himself back on the lead lap, and he has run all the way back to the front. 27 looks for the race lead, and Nathan Bishop gonna take the top spot for the first time. That's going to give us our 15th different lead change for 7 different drivers here tonight. What a run at Talladega Superspeedway here tonight in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Justin Rigsby going to take that spot back once again. 16 different lead changes. Nathan Bishop going to grab it back once again. Man, I'm telling you. And here comes a lot of drivers at pit road. Oh, Radford gets bumped from behind. He'll slide through pit road. Oh, no. Radford with trouble coming to pit road. Steve Baker comes down pit road. Justin Rigsby comes down pit road as well. That is a big time. I don't want to say mistake for Radford. He looked to come to pit road, thought better of it, stayed out on the track, but got bumped from behind, sent him on a big time slide through the entry to pit road. We'll have to wait and see if he was popped by the pit road police, and it looks like just fuel only for the 36 of Rigsby. Steve Baker going to follow that strategy, as well as Craig Learman. More drivers to pit road this time. Is this a cleaner group? Looks like it's gonna stay a little cleaner. And Damon Cox right here. Damon Cox is gonna take the race lead for the first time here tonight. That's gonna give us our 8th different race leader. 18 different lead changes now. Matthew McMeekin quite a ways behind, about 20 seconds behind or so. He's yet to come to pit road. Brian Mescal Jr. has yet to come to pit road. Both of them are going to peel for pit road this time by, so the only one left to pit. Driver out there still on the track, Damon Cox. He may be trying to stretch this thing out and win it on some fuel strategy. We'll have to wait to see how all that plays out for him. Where's the drivers that made that undercut attempt? Roy Hyde now knocking on the door of a top 10. Brian Littleton right behind him, sitting in the 13th position, and Damon Cox gonna pull to pit road this time around. That's gonna complete the green flag pit cycle. But look at this mess we got going on. We're gonna jump a little bit higher outside of the cars here. Oh my goodness, things gonna heat up right here at Talladega Superspeedway. We're 2 wide, 3 rows deep. Rigsby leads Hetrick, Baker, Blount, Learman, Hyde, and Littleton. Looks like the 4-car train gonna work on the high side, and Jimmy Hetrick gonna take the lead for the first time here tonight. 9 different race leaders, 19 lead changes. He's going to drop to the bottom of the raceway. That's going to leave Eric Blount at 6 out on the high side. Will he drop to the bottom, or will he stay with Roy Hyde and Brian Littleton helping him get there? And it looks like he's going to bail, and he's going to drop to the bottom. That's going to put Roy Hyde leading the outside lane with the 5 laps to go for when we cross the line this time. And here comes a run by Brandon Medford. He's going to get to the back end of the 80 of Brian Littleton. That's going to help that outside lane charge forward just a little bit more. Little bit of damage on the nose of that 80 of Brian Littleton should be fine as long as they stay tucked in line. 4 laps to go that time by Eric Blount leads the field. Hetrick with a big wiggle through the center of 1 and 2. Drivers getting out of shape, a little light on the fuel. Big push now on the outside lane. Roy Hyde gonna pull even with Blount halfway down the backstretch into turn number 3. Roy Hyde looks to lead the first lap of the race. First lap of the race for him and his crew. Not gonna do so. Inside lane gonna pull forward through entry and center. Can Hyde in the 80 of a Brian Littleton, in the 83 of Brandon Medford get up there and do anything with it? No, looks like drivers electing to go single file here. Down there on the inside lane, coming to take 3 laps to go. Rigsby gonna jump out from being 3rd car in line. He'll look to take the top spot. Oh, big move by Baker. He's gonna force it 3 wide. Roy Hyde gonna get stuck on the outside. Gap opening up for him to drop down behind Baker. He's gonna fill that void right in front of teammate the 80 of Brian Littleton. We've got Medford looking to go 3 wide in between the 27 and the 80. Not gonna do it just yet. We'll stay double file, cross the line. Popsicle sticks, 2 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway in race number 1, round 2 here in the championship rundown for the 2021 championship season in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Eric Blount leads this field, got control of the race late, but here comes your Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award winner Rigsby with a big push from Baker, and Littleton goes around. Brian Littleton gets turned down the backstretch 3 wide, heading into turn number 3. We stay green flag racing. Greg Learman, Brian Littleton caught up and involved in this one. We're coming to the white flag with 3 wide, 2 rows deep. Here we go. White flag final lap here at Talladega Super Speedway in the Dega 75. Who's going to take that top spot? Will we see Baker rip off another race-winning performance here in the championship rundown? It's 3 versus 1. Roy Hyde left all alone on the 3rd and outside lane. Nobody going with him. 3 more drivers are beginning to close in very fast. That's Dustin German and the 27 of Nathan Bishop. They're starting to make their way back up there now. The 3 wide going to calm down. We'll go back double file as Steve Baker leads for the first time. Can he lead them across the line? 20 different lead changes, 10 different race leaders, 3 wide at the line, and Baker's gonna grab it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Did Medford get there in time? No. Brandon Medford scored with second. What a finish, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Let's go back, take a look at this checkered flag real quick. That was from inside that 48 of Jimmy Hedrick there. You can see just how close it is. 3 wide coming to the line. And oh my gosh. I'm telling you, man, that was probably one of the closest finishes we've ever seen here in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Steve Baker gonna go back-to-back race-winning performances here in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. He'll walk away with a checkered flag, and he will check himself right in to the third round of the championship rundown. Baker gonna secure his spot. What a performance out of that 55 machine. And with that being said, as he enjoys his celebrations here post-race, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things ready and set for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside, ready for all your post-race interviews here. Let's see if we can't catch up and have a few words with some of the drivers out there tonight. Let's see if we can't first grab and have a little bit of a chat with the driver that walked away with the Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award. Also walked away with the third podium spot here tonight. Justin Rigsby, it's Dave in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Dave, what's happening, buddy?
Not much. How you doing, man?
I'm wore out. That was wild.
I was gonna say, how you feeling after a wild and crazy one here at Talladega.
Man, I ain't got to run much this summer, and races like this really make me miss not getting to run every week because we was up front for some time. We got in a little bit of an accident there, dropped all the way to the back, and come all the way back up front, and you don't get to do that a whole lot. And these super speedways allow for that kind of racing, and then there at the end, I feel like everybody was everywhere, and luckily the 55 got the best of everybody else, and we was able to come home third. So I can't be mad about that, but man, we was fast.
Yeah, I was gonna talk to you a little bit about the qualifying session there. Were you caught? I don't want to say caught off guard, but were you surprised at the speed that you were able to get out of that 36 machine here and take that top spot in the Blackhawk Motorsports Pole Award session?
Yeah, I mean, I've always qualified decent at super speedways, but I felt like we was missing something in practice. So I don't know if the team swapped engines in between sessions or what, but um, yeah, I hugged the yellow line all the way around here on qualifying and barely edged out my teammate. He was a little upset about it. The 85 and Jeff, he put down a blistering lap too. So our team must have something figured out with this engine package. Unfortunately, we didn't get to bring home the checkered though. But man, we was up front a lot, and I couldn't ask for a better race.
Absolutely. Well, Justin, congratulations on the pole award here tonight. Also, finishing third place here tonight, final spot on the podium. So before we let you go, you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home?
Yeah, Team Attitude Esports. We worked together quite a bit this race, and was able to stay up front. Um, all these businesses that make this car look good. Fatted Calf, Ryan's Fatted Calf, great butcher shop here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Heritage Barbershop, another local business, good place to get your hair cut. Valvoline, anybody else we got on this car? I'm drawing a blank. It's been so long because we ain't got to run much, but appreciate all these guys that helped me out and help us stay up here.
All right, Justin. Well, again, my man, congratulations with a great run here tonight at Talladega. And we'll see if we can't catch up with you again before this season's out.
Appreciate it, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from the driver walking away with the third and final podium position here tonight. Your Blackhawk Motorsports Pole Award winner, the 36 of Justin Rigsby. That's going to lead us to the driver that walked away in the second spot here tonight. Let's see if we can't dial him up. Let's see if we can't grab a few words with the driver inside of that 83 machine. Brandon, it's Dave in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Dave.
Hey, man, how you doing after a solid showing here tonight?
Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good. That was a lot of fun.
I don't know if fun is, well, it seemed crazy out there in a good way, if that makes any logical sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Brandon, let's talk about a little bit of your race here. You started way outside of your top 30 in the 34th position to be exact. So you snatched the Mission 22 Hard Charger Award by gaining 32 spots here tonight. How were you able to get your car all the way through the field like that?
That first run, we wanted to save fuel to, maybe make it on 2 stops. Those cautions ended up helping out, but about on lap 20, we decided we were going to head towards the front, try to be with the lead lap group. And so everyone was still saving fuel, and it helped us get to the outside, and we moved all the way up into the top 20, where we wanted to, just hang out and again save some more fuel for all the, rest of the race to have one more stop. And then those cautions came and kind of threw that out, but just wanted to stay up there inside the top 15 there towards the end, and make a run with 10 to go, and it worked out.
Absolutely, it absolutely did. As I said, gained 32 positions on the night, so you'll walk away with a little bit of a better check. Get that Mission 22 Hard Charger Award. So, Brandon, again, congratulations on that, as well as finishing second here tonight. So, before we let you go, you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home?
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for the broadcast. Do a great job. I want to thank everybody here in NEXTGEN, all the admins. Those guys do a great job. I want to thank my team, my Falcon team. Without them, this strategy wouldn't have wouldn't have worked out. And then, I'd like to thank Zoe's Place. Uh, got to mention them 2 weeks in a row. They do great things for kids here locally. Um, Race for Riley, Lucky Finn, all those projects that we share with the Falcon team. So, and then I'd like to thank my family for allowing me to do this when we're so busy and they really don't say a lot to me. So, I think that's about it.
All right, Brandon. Well, again, congratulations on the great run here at Talladega Superspeedway, and we'll see if we can't catch up with you at maybe Rockingham or Charlotte.
Yeah, let's hope so. One last shout out to Steve. He done a great job tonight and set himself up for this championship run here.
All right, well, there you go. Brandon Metford, your Mission 22 Hard Charger Award winner, your second place finisher here tonight. Walks away from the track with his head held high, with a little bit of a shout out to the driver that walked away with the top spot. Driver slowly making his way to that Century Equipment victory lane. We'll see if we can get a word with him real quick. Let's see if we can dial up the driver that went to victory lane once again. Steve Baker, it's Dave in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Dave.
Hey, man, I think I'm just going to get you like your own key and your own mic because you end up in the booth pretty much all the time here.
Yeah, let's set it up. I'd love to keep coming back.
It's always a good night when you end up in the post-race interviews, huh?
Yeah, man, absolutely. But Talladega is kind of a crapshoot, so definitely not expected.
Well, Steve, with the not expected part, going to look through some of the timing and scoring and things of that nature. You didn't really lead any laps until basically the last 5 laps. That's when you finally got that first lap led in. But more importantly, up 24 spots from where you started tonight's race to back up last week's race-winning performance at Pocono. Do you and the 55 crew just kind of have something figured out for these bigger tracks?
No, I think we just came into Talladega tonight with the same strategy I usually have at these places, which is no need to ride around up front until the end. Try to make your way up front after the last needed pit stop for fuel or tires, and then try and do what you can in the last 10 or so laps. But there's plenty of people out there to thank for pushes there at the end. Otherwise, I would have got shuffled back there in the middle.
Well, Steve, gonna also ask you a little bit of I don't know if it's a prying question or not, but now you're locked into the 3rd round. You don't really have to worry about Rockingham, don't really have to worry about Charlotte. Is there a strategy moving forward from here? Do you focus on that next round, the first race of the next round, or do you just go out there and try to win these next 2 as well and make it a little harder for some of these drivers to point their way into round 3?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have the pressure off, but we're going to still kind of show up and try and win the races. Charlotte's not one of my best tracks, but I always look forward to Rockingham, so as many wins as we can get takes them away from anyone else getting auto qualifiers. So we'll definitely show up and try and bring home the trophies in those.
All right, Steve. Well, once again, my man, congratulations on walking away with yet another victory, another checkered flag here, ending up in the Century Equipment victory lane post-show interviews. And, well, you set yourself up pretty for round number 3. And with all that being said, the mic's yours, my man. Shout-outs, thank yous, love yous.
Yeah, shout out first to my teammates out there, always working together with strategy and whatnot. I think they ended up with some damage, but still were able to get up front there at the end. Shout out to you and the admins for the broadcasts and the league as a whole, and everybody who shows up. And then special shout out to Katie and Justin there at the end, just for the pushes. I was kind of shuffled away from my team there at the end, and needed the push to get to the win. So thank those guys, and we'll look forward again next week.
All right, Steve. Well, we'll see if you can't make it a 3-peat and talk to us again in the top spot when we leave Rockingham.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Steve Baker walking away with the Century Equipment Victory Lane Award here tonight from Talladega Superspeedway, opening round number 2 in the chase for the 2021 season championship right here in the Next Gen Racing L.E.C Company Xfinity Series. And that's going to pretty much do it for us here tonight. We're going to begin to wind things up and roll the cords up, get ready to go to Rockingham Speedway next week. That is going to be an absolute gem. Love when we get to visit those old school historic tracks. Man, what a run it's been all season long. 19 races now in the books. Just a handful left to go before we will crown a champion here in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Producers hitting those buttons in the background. You know that sound. It's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results, grabbing the checkered flag for back-to-back winning race weeks here in the Next Gen Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Checkered flag goes to Steve Baker. 83 of Brandon Medford gonna come home in second. Your Black Hawk Motorsports Pole Award winner, Justin Rigsby, gonna pilot that 36 home to third. Katie Osmond walking away in fourth, and rounding out your top five, the 00 of Roy High. Jimmy Hetrick back in sixth, Nathan Bishop seventh, eighth place to Dustin German. Eric Blount back in ninth, 10th place goes to the 84 of Chris Medford. Deal one of Gordon Larson Jr. walking away from the track in 11th place. 12th here tonight goes to Derek Robinson. Dustin Ping gonna finish his run out in 13th. Troy Radford gonna pilot the Lucky Finn Project 4 to the 14th. 15th spot goes to Damon Cox. Kendall Levron back in 16th. 17th spot to Brian Littleton. Matthew McMeekin will bring the 41 machine home in the 18th spot. 19th from Talladega tonight belongs to the Dirty Mo Media. 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. Rounding out your top 20, the 86 of Travis Arthur. Robert Liedell gonna finish tonight's race back in 21st. 22nd goes to Craig Lehrman. Mike Mason-Gill gonna finish in 23rd. First driver off of the lead lap in that lucky dog position. Championship driver, the 9 of Travis Smith. 25th goes to Robert Hetrick. Mitchard Snare back in 26th. Joshua Spalding finishes tonight's race back in the 27th spot, walking away from the track tonight in the 28th position, the 2 of Christopher Spencer. The 98 of Thomas Light finishing tonight's race in 29th. 30th goes to Doug Wasaki. Lance Yancey with early trouble in the 77. He finishes in 31st. 32nd goes to Tim Woodson with Todd Willis finishing in 33rd. 34th goes to Tyler Hilton. Brian Snare back in 35th. Ryan Wilson finishes tonight's race back in 36th. 37th to Jeff Stiles. And Gary Ragland finishes the field out here tonight in 38th. And well, that's about it. That's about all. If you haven't already, join us in that push to 2,000 subscribers. Drop these drivers that thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just sliding through to say hey, or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family, possibly even sponsor. We appreciate each and every one of you stopping through, checking out all the great racing action 7 days a week right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And well, we're going to roll up the cords and get ready to get on out of here. So with that being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.